Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, ShrimadBhagavatam395. As you may remember, Sahadev said that Krishna was the only one that should be worshipped as the foremost being. He's not just a man. He's the Lord himself who was walking on this earth with a form and a name for the good of foolish men like us. He is the foundation on which rests the entire universe. He's the soul of all yagnas, of all the sacrifices and the incantations. The speculations of all the Upanishads are about him, and he's the only one to be worshipped. He creates and he sustains, and finally he's the one who destroys this entire universe. Who was able to gauge his infiniteness, the immensity of his glory? If we honor Krishna, we will be honoring all living and non-living objects, since he is the Brahman which pervades the universe. Let us by all means honor Krishna as the foremost among people. All the wise men who had assembled there in that great hall were pleased with the words of Sahadev. They knew the truth of his words, that Krishna was the Parama Purusha himself, and that he was the only one fit to be honored as the foremost among people. Yudhishthira was happy that the words of Sahadev were approved by everyone. He had the same desire in his mind, and he had been trying to put that into words when Sahadev spoke. With great joy in his heart, he began to offer puja to Krishna. He washed his feet while Draupadi poured water from a vessel made of gold. The water which had wetted the feet of the Lord, he took and sprinkled on his head, and on that of his wife and brothers. Years back it was this same water which was named Mandakini, and which was brought to the earth by Bhagirath and given the name Ganga. Yudhishthira's eyes were so full of tears that he could not look at Krishna when he stood before him, with his palms folded and with his thoughts flowing toward him. 251, Shishupala of Chedi. "Enough of this foolishness," said a voice suddenly, and all the people in the hall were surprised. They had all joined in the worship of the Lord, and this was a sudden note of discord, which no one expected. All eyes were turned in the direction from which the sound came. They found Shishupala, the son of Damagosha, standing up. His arm was lifted up as if in remonstrance. His eyes were red with anger and his hand was trembling while he showed his disapproval. He began to speak disparagingly of Krishna. He said scathing words about Yudhishthira too. "It is indeed true," he said, "that no one can alter the course of time. I can see now that the statement is true of those who have reached their old age, too. The words of this youngster, who has no experience of worldly things, are excusable. He has been thrown into the company of Krishna, and he feels that this man deserves to be honored. But what surprises me is the fact that the older men here, the veterans, who should have better sense, have also let their minds be influenced by the words of Sahadev. I appeal to the really wise men in this assembly. Please do not give your consent to this foolishness on the part of Yudhishthira. Use your powers of thinking and tell me in what way this man, this blot on the name of the Yadu house, this cowherd, deserves this honor. There are so many great men here. The rishis who are rich in tapas and knowledge, they have been honored by the celestials. They are sinless and they are forever absorbed in the contemplation of the Brahman. Ignoring them, Yudhishthira has foolishly paid honor to this man. His accepting the honor is like a crow snatching the havis that is meant for the devas. He belongs to no high family. Born in a prison and brought up in a cowshed, how can he be civilized enough to mix with kings?" Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.